Chapman is now a member of the San Francisco Giants, who have signed some. I guess Chapman's still somewhat of a power hitter. I mean, his numbers aren't what they used to be, but he still has a good glove at third base and a solid enough bat.
Very
Last year,
good glove.
17 homers, 54 RBIs, 108 OPS plus. So, not what he was doing in Oakland in his prime, where he was hitting 36 home runs in 2019. But it definitely shows that Pablo Sandoval will not be starting at third, so that's a relief.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how that's going to eventually pan out. Will he be there as a bench player? I don't know, but more to come on that. But I mean, I think it's a solid signing. I don't think it's like a huge signing. The part I do find funny, and you sent me this text, is Scott Boras was playing his cards again, and again he got Heisman'd by having to settle for a 3-year, $54 million contract, no long-term 5-year deal. And it also, very similar to the contract that Cody Bellinger signed with the Cubs, has a couple opt-outs, so if for some reason he can return to form after he gets $20 million this first season with the Giants, he has the ability to opt out of an $18 million and a $16 million again in his final year. So
yeah, I term that a win, like a win-win lose for the Bellinger contract. I thought the Cubs won on that. I thought Bellinger won on that, and I thought Boras lost on it because
right.
he's always getting his athletes to hold out for the most money, and they had to settle for shorter term deals than were rumored or expected. So same as the case with Chapman here. So I'd say Boras is 0 for 2 this offseason.
Yeah, and I think Boras needs to start realizing, which is odd that he hasn't after what we've seen post-COVID off seasons. Blake Snell is still not signed.
Yeah.
And neither is Montgomery, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. World Series champion.
Yeah, there's not this desire for teams are in no rush to give these guys big contracts. If your name's not Shohei Ohtani or you're not some sensation coming in from overseas, there's no urgency. There really is not any urgency. It's such a change, and I think Scott Boras, not that he's not going to get a decent cut of I don't know how his money works out. I guess it works out for the total value of the contract. So, he's not going to be crying poor or anything, but
no, he's fine.
He's fine, but I think it's a new day and age, and any of these players whose track record isn't completely stellar or off the charts are not going to get these big, extended deals. I mean, there's a risk with Bellinger. He's been inconsistent the last few years. The Cubs know that they may have gotten the best season out of him. So why sign him to some long-term deal and be stuck with that contract? Same with Matt Chapman. He had a bit of a bounce back year last year because the year prior, what would he have? Was it 11 home runs or something? So, it's not like, I apologize. That was 2020 where he had 10 home runs, but he had 27 in Oakland.
It was a short season.
2022, 27. But his batting averages and OPS is had dropped off considerably the last few years, where he was normally in the around 850. Now he's 100 points lower in OPS. So,
a lot of that was due to, I saw this one stat that may have, there was an article, I think probably in The Athletic, trying to explain why there wasn't as much of a market for him as you would assume. He got off to a great start last year, but the second 2/3 of the season, essentially 104 games, his OPS was 666.
Yeah, exactly.
So if he's in the 700s, he had a great first half, but it was bad after that. And I think that may have scared off some suitors, but he's also 31 years old. Bellinger's he's going to be 31 years old next month, I believe. Bellinger's 28. So there's differences, and it makes sense why they have similar contracts, but why the dollar values are quite a bit different. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't, I like the signing. I wasn't like, oh my God, we got Matt Chapman. I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's decent. But it's definitely starting to solidify the offense now. I think there's going to be, you know, a lot more threats in that offensive lineup now this year, and it's solidifying the infield defense, which we all know is very helpful to winning ball games. So I don't know. They're looking pretty good. I would love them to sign like a Blake Snell or a Montgomery to like really solidify the starting pitching staff with then
you've got Robbie Ray coming back.
Robbie Ray coming back like mid-season. I mean,
You're fine.
that's starting to shape up pretty good. Right after the major Otani injury happens too at mid-season,
Oh,
going to open the door
yeah,
for victory.
that's
So
evil.
I am evil. Yes, I am. Metallica via King Diamond. But anyway, so I'm happy with it. I'm not blown away by it. It's a solid signing.
Word Hole Media.